Are calling California's fentanyl crisis.
This year has seized 4 million fentanyl pills at the border.
15,000 multicolored fentanyl pills.
Poisoning is now the #1 source of death for people between the ages of 18 and 45.
Nationally, 9 people every hour die from fentanyl.
During the pandemic, San Francisco lost 725 people. That was more than all the people who died of COVID in this city that year.
It says that officers have seized enough fentanyl to kill more than 2 million
arrested
people.
on the I-10 with more than $1 million worth of
The
fentanyl.
fentanyl crisis disproportionately affects Native American communities.
Republicans in the state assembly attempted to flex the rules to try to get lawmakers to vote on ACA 12.
You guys put these bills together. We was watching them like it was our sports team. It was like devastating to us that it didn't
Republicans
pass.
tried to rush the measure to the floor. Then Democratic Majority Leader Assemblyman Isaac Bryan made a few notes against the move. The attempt failed, 42-18, with several Democrats not
They were
voting.
simply viewed as accidental overdoses, so the DA's office was out of the loop when it involved any prosecution. Her dad, Matt Capilouto, said no, it was murder.
To the deadly opioid epidemic.
18 people die every single day in California.
Her
from
name
fentanyl
was Delilah.
overdoses.
She was 12 years old.
Tribal leaders told lawmakers today that while their communities have long struggled with addiction, fentanyl has been on a whole other level and has been devastating for some.
Sometimes you blame yourself for things that you can't control. And I always think if I'd have went up there sooner.
When I see the mountains, I think of her eyes and her smile, her strength. But I'll never stop fighting for you. I love you, Illeanna.
Talk about fentanyl, the spirit of this drug that's coming in, that's being brought into our communities. And I get really emotional, man, because our kids, I had to go sing for my brother's daughter. That's bullshit. So it's to that level.
For people to say that I'm a terrible father because I wasn't there, or her mother was a terrible mother because she wasn't there, but yet she's supposed to be with her family. She's supposed to be in her ancestral land, her ancestral home, her earth, where our fire comes from, where our drum sets. That she could be murdered like that, but it's business as usual. Not my daughter. She has a dad. And I'm right here. And I'm gonna fight with everything that I got till my last breath.
Limbo done, where my daughter's from. She loved her people. She loved her tribe. She loved her family. She graduated early at 16. She had a rough life growing up in Lake County. Where my daughter's from is right next to a mercury mine. A mercury mine that's poisoning the lake with mercury, that's poisoning the land, has killed natives with cancer that continues to be hazardous. Also is home of the Bloody Island Massacre, where militia, John Kelsey, massacred women and children and men, killing Indians in a mercury mine. That's what Lake County's known for. But amongst that hurt and pain and greed, I see a beautiful people, resilient people, the people that my daughter comes from. They fought for their dignity and they continue to fight.
We're here in Sacramento, the front lines of this epidemic. Today we're going to pray and honor them ancestors. We're going to address a few issues that's happening in our community, in our lives, in our families.
So when we break it down by numbers, when we look at the ages, 15 to 30-year-olds are dying, that's an entire generation. That's a whole generation of our native babies, young adults who are of the age of birthing age that are not gonna have babies. You know, people don't usually respond to stuff like this unless it hits their home. And now, like no other time I've seen, except when the government actually came in and massacred our people, this fentanyl is killing our people every day.
As a grandpa, to my grandchildren, to a father, to a husband, you know what I mean, to my family, to your family, our babies are dying. And I hate to have you wake up in the morning to hear a phone call about your baby dead, bro. And I hate to see you wake up crying and going through the shit that I'm going through right now with my family. My grandbabies are crying right now. And it's not good, you know? And I wake up at 4 in the morning, I hear my daughter upstairs crying that her own husband died. Not her husband, but her father of her kids. Crying. How do you think that makes me feel? That turns the animal instinct in me, wants me to go and just maul somebody down and just tear them up. But no, it's not that way no more.
My name's Anthony Kester. They call me Poncho on the streets and Standing Bear in prison. Because when you're in those places like that, in the cell in there like that, what do you think of? What do you pray for? You pray for your family. You wish you were there for them. Well, then be there for them, you know?
I mean, what our mind wants to do is this not the solution? Violence.
Even before my baby was taken, I was trying to be a better person, and I wasn't there in her dying hour. And then I gotta carry that pain forever. I'm not a perfect person. I come from violence. I grew up in Broderick, California.
The streets, they don't care, you know, your ethnicity. They don't care, you know, how old you are, how young you are, or how good a person you are, you know. It's fentanyl will kill you.
So this is my cousin Sebastian. He was 24 when he passed away from fentanyl overdose. This scan code tells his story on what happened, the tragic events that happened to my cousin. He's fighting that fentanyl fight and bringing more awareness to the people.
The first drug dealer on the reservation was the U.S. Army, giving us alcohol. The second drug dealer was Indian Health with all the pills, got our people hooked on pills. Now the fentanyl's coming in and wiping people out.
I think they're afraid because of the sources that's bringing this stuff into our community. Our own people are serving it to one another, so lateral violence, lateral oppression.
And I'm not knocking you guys. As another person, another bro, another canal, whatever you want to call it, bro, you know what time it is. If you could change your direction into something positive. I'm asking the guys that are sitting behind those desks, why don't you guys pull them on and get them a job? Hey, I can get you a job working for here. That would, instead of putting them down and criticizing him because he's out there hustling and selling drugs.
They're gonna be told that they're no good because that's the toxicity level that you deep colonized people have.
Any man is gonna do what they gotta do to feed their fucking family. If they go rob somebody, they gotta go steal from the store, they gotta do whatever they can to feed their family. You're not better than him. Because you're sitting there pointing the finger at this person and criticizing this person and talking shit about this person. You're worse than he is.
This is our ancestors fought and prayed for us to have our language, our culture, our ceremonies, all those things that are supposed to protect us. But if we can't bring that forth, if we can't draw on that together, we're in trouble, man. We won't exist in 20 years.
You know, we're in this era now where everybody wants to look like something on social media, where their content is self-promoting and self-glorifying. They got teachings, they got songs, they got prayers, they got dances. They were taught by this elder, that elder. Well, what are you doing with that? Being toxic on the internet? Continuing division? Continuing hatred? That's what we've come down to. Internet thugs. What people don't understand is it isn't somebody that's killing us, we're killing ourselves.
You know, we really can't depend on government grants or police or the military, because if we wait for them, we've been waiting 500 years. They ain't coming. It's got to be us.
What I see is a lot of pro-state leaders dependent in the Capitol, dependent on the governor, dependent on Ramos, thinking that the state system, the same system that puts scalps on our head, are going to help us. When in reality, it takes us exercising our sovereignty. It takes us policing our own reservations.
I know how it is to ask for help. Our people don't like to use that word because we don't want anyone to think that we're helpless. You're more than welcome to contact any one of us that are here today. Whether you're a man, a girl, a boy, no matter what age you are, if you need any kind of support, I want to let you know that we are here for you and that we love you.
You youngsters, if you have any problems, a girl or boy, I don't care, my name's IP Bear Engine on Facebook. And the wife here is Traditions First. You guys have any problems, man, or nobody out there to help you, feel like nobody's there to help you, call me. We'll come pick you up and take you to ceremony. We'll let you stay a night, feed you for a couple days, and then, you know, get you the help you need. But don't ever feel like you're alone, because you're not. You have a big family. It doesn't matter what tribe you are, you're family. If you're Indian, you're family. That's just the way it is. That's how we were taught.
But my daughter dying in the fashion that she did, being murdered, left there, robbed, and for it to be business as usual and no outrage in Lake County. When I talk about justice for my daughter, I'm not talking about pleading with these police. I'm not talking about this decoy, the Bureau of Indian Affairs. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm not pleading with none of them people. Justice for my daughter is justice for all natives and all people.